Okay, so this is a walk around of what is it on a 2002 Ford Windstar van. They have a keypad that you just punch in your numbers to unlock the doors. So usually you'll have a code in your glove compartment for that, or you can order a code. Some people don't know that you can order the code from Ford with your VIN number. So that's what you need for that. Your VIN number is always found right there. There's a little spot right there where you just look down in there, and that's where your VIN number is. And here, this is where you can change your windshield wipers. And right there, if you need to change the whole arm, you pull that up. And there's a bolt right there that you just undo. Yeah, it's a little hard to pull off, but it shimmies off there, and you put a new one on there. That's only if you have to change the whole arm. But if you just want to change the windshield wiper itself, all you do is come up here, lift this up, and there's a little clip here that you push in, and then you pull it back, and then you push it forward, and you put the new one in. And once you put the new one in, you just put it over here and slide it forward, and it clicks right in there. Pretty simple to do. People think it's real hard and stuff, but it's pretty easy. Like I said, like there's a little clip right here. Just push the clip in, and then pull the thing back, and then take it on, clip it in. Pretty simple. Okay, and you got your headlights here. And if you ever need to change your headlights, it's not that hard either. You just come in here, and there's some bolts here you got to remove. Actually, this one has some bolts down in the hole here. You just take that off, and it's pretty easy to slide this right out of there. You can see that it's pretty loose there. It might take a little looking to find where the bolts are on the headlights, but if you just take a little time and look, you'll find some bolts there you need to just remove and put a new one on there. Here's the battery, and sometimes if your battery gets corrosion on it like this one, as you can see, it's pretty down corroded there. That's going to need to be cleaned up and fixed, and I'll do that within the next day or so. And what you do is you get a wire brush and just take the cable off there and wire it all down, give it a good cleaning up, and then put it back on, tighten it up. Alright, well, there's the transmission fluid line right here. This is the part where you would check to see if you have enough transmission fluid. And you just pull it out, and this one here is rusted, and you better check yours, because I don't know why this is so rusted. This car came from the north, and a lot of it on here is rusted, so I'm not going to pull that out right now. I'm just going to push that back in, because I don't want to have that trouble right now. But anyways, that's pretty rusted, and there's a lot of rust in there I should not have. This fan probably won't last too much longer. But here is the oil stick. The yellow is the oil. You pull that out, and this is where you check your oil, and it'll tell you if you have oil or not. Now, some cars you check the oil when the car is running. Some will shut it off and then check it. But this one here seems to be okay, but it may look like it's not. If it's not read right. But anyways, that's where you check your oil to see if you have oil in there. And that's where you add oil right there, and it says right on the cap. You go in, you get 5W20 oil. I like full synthetic. I always use full synthetic oil on this car. Really, any car I've had, I always use the full synthetic. Now this here is your alternator, and you may need to replace it sometime in the future. Cut off that oil as I feel. And it just requires taking these things off. You know, there's two bolts here, there's one bolt here, there's a plug here. Take it off and remove the belt here. And once the belt comes off, it should pull off. This is just, oh yeah, there's one right here too you got to take off. This goes to the battery. and take all those things off, and you're good to go pulling it out of there. It's not too hard. You put your new one in, put your belt on first, and then put that on. Do everything reverse like you took it out. This is where you put your antifreeze in. If you have a antifreeze, watch the line here. There's a line that tells you where to put it to and where not to let it go over. And this is your power steering fluid. If you ever hear your car making a noise or not running right, not wanting to steer right, you might have to add some power steering fluid to it. Make sure you don't go overfull. Just fill it to as needed. This here is your AC line. This is where you fill your air conditioning. But you can go right to O'Reilly Auto Parts or Napa, and you can get it and you hook it on here, and it tells you, pretty much explains how to do it, and it'll make your AC nice and cold, ice cold, as long as you don't have a problem with it with the motor or a hole or something. But most people don't. You just need to put some Freon in there from the auto parts store, and that's not that hard. But like I said, if you don't feel comfortable doing any of this, you should go to a mechanic. This is windshield wiper fluid right here. You ever try to clear your window from dirt and stuff, and there's no water coming out when you push the button? This is what you do. You go to the front right here, open this up, put some windshield washer in there, fill it right up there. You should be good to go. If not, you might have a line that's not connected, and those are right underneath the firewall here. If you look up underneath there, a lot of times you can see right where the line is. That yellow one is the line here, and there's another one over here up underneath there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's that. This here is your valve cover. This is where your oil is underneath there. And you got all these little breathers. And if some of them don't run right, your car won't run right. So, you may have a hole in one, like this one here. This one had a hole in it, so I tried to fix that up a little bit. But this was running bad, so I tried to replace the filter. The filter's under here. You just unclick this, and you remove it, and you pull it out, and there's a filter in there. And take it out, put a new one in, put it all back together. But this is having a trouble, like when you come to a stop and you're at a light, it kind of, it don't want to run. It tries to stall out unless I give it some gas. So somebody said that this here piece maybe not idling right, not letting it idle right, so carburetor or whatever's in there. So I can go to a junkyard and probably get one for $10 when the auto parts store will charge me probably $150. So I'll probably end up doing that, getting that off another van and putting it on. But everything's pretty simple. This controls your gas. Your gas pedal. When you push your gas pedal, this pulls this back, and it's makes your car rev up and rev down when you push your gas pedal. So that's that. Your fuses are under here. This is your fuse box for your big fuses. You probably don't want to get into that too much unless you know what you're doing. If you figure out which fuse it is that's gone, then you go into this box right here. You can fix it. Those are your spark plug wires right here. You got 3 in the front, and then you got 3 that are very hard to get to. They go to the back, and you can't get to them unless you take all of this off. You take all of this stuff off, the wipers, everything, and then you can get to them. But it's still not easy. But anyways, these are your spark plug wires, like I said, and under there is your spark plugs, and you can change them just by pulling the boot off and getting a nice socket in there, and removing the spark plug that's in there, and then putting a new one in, and then put the boot back on. And this is just my video of what I do. Not telling you that you should do it or anything like that. If you don't feel comfortable with it, just go to a mechanic. lot of money doing it myself. Like I said, there's a lot of breathers on here, and if you don't know, if you get codes on your, your engine light comes on or something, sometimes it's better just to go right over to the auto parts store and have them run a thing on there, put their little machine on there. They'll do it for free. O'Reilly's and Napa, they'll do it for free. They'll check out what the engine light is, why it's on. So sometimes you want to check that. But yeah, this here is your, I don't know if you can see that, but that's your hose going to your radiator. So if you have overheat and you see steam coming flying out of your engine, maybe you got a hole in there, because that happens a lot. And it gets a hole, and then you get steam pulling all out, and everybody thinks, oh my god, my engine's gone. That's really not. You just got to have a new hose or something, because they do go. And you got a lot of lines and stuff around. You just got to be cautious about. And there's a starter underneath there. You get that from underneath the car. If you ever need to replace that, it's not that hard either. You just go under and you look where it's there, and you take off what you need to take off, and then you replace it. It's not really all that hard. People think that these things are too hard to do, but they're really not. But like I said, it's up to you if you dare to do it or you don't. It's all in what you want to try and what you don't want to try. But I hope this explained a little bit. Again, this is a Ford Windstar minivan. It's not in bad shape. I bought it pretty cheap, and the interior was pretty good and everything. So it's got nice tires, and it's got the rear windshield wiper. I like that about it. That's pretty much what I can tell you right now about the Windstar. Now, if you have any questions or anything, just ask me in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you. I've replaced a lot of stuff. I've learned how to do it myself just because I don't want to go to the mechanics. So, anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little teachings of a Windstar. Okay. Take care. Oh yeah, there's the refrigerant type right here. It'll tell you what kind of refrigerant you get from the O'Reilly's Auto Parts. And then you just go and you get it. And that there tells you how much antifreeze, how much water to put in your radiator. And the Windstars don't have a radiator right here, so like I said, you have to put it on in over here. Just make sure you put it in. Don't put too much in. Okay, oil, remember oil. Alrighty, well, y'all have a good day. This is Drew.